And I'm sure many of them are also watching this on YouTube live. Great. While we're waiting for attendees to keep rolling in, I guess it's the moment when, if you were on a stage, you would see the crowd pouring into the hall. We're facing some similar rush on the attendee count. Let me just recap what the Skilleton 1.0 was about. Skilleton 1.0 was to create a network of opportunities for people from various backgrounds. It was meant to be an inclusive and accessible network for everyone to get choice of opportunity that they deserve. And by focusing on two key aspects of building high trust at low cost, and by building a network rather than platforms of opportunities. Let's just get started with the presentation. So today's agenda would be, we'll have a brief welcome note. Then we'll get to hear from various participants, judges, organizers, various perspectives on Skilleton 1.0, how it went for them. Of course, from there, we'll get into some special prizes and announcements. And finally, the winner announcement and presentations, which is what I believe everyone is here today for. After that, we have few question and answer that we had selected from the sign-up form and the vote of thanks at the end. Let's see Skilleton at a glance. In this hackathon, we saw 4,000 plus registrations, 200 plus ideas were submitted, which were by some 98 teams that were shortlisted. Out of them, 66 submitted the prototype. And we finally have 6 winners across the 5 challenge statements. Through the course of 1 month or so of the hackathon, we had 4 fireside chats across Samaj, Sarkar, and Bazaar. Each one of them, very insightful and giving interesting perspective on the whole landscape. We had 4 masterclasses for people who were building prototypes, and check-in calls to make sure everybody is moving forward and is not roadblocked with anything. Towards that, let's hear some perspective from the fireside chat. We have a quick snippet to show.
The idea of Skilleton is to reimagine what would we do if ONDC like Open Network can be created for skilling and education sector by bringing high trust through credentials and data and identity. A plumber finding a better job or opportunity, or ITI skilled employee looking for an apprenticeship opportunity end of the semester or whatever in the ITI, or a college person looking for to mentor a school, high schooler.
For solving anything in the world, we need 2 things. One is outcome orientation, and second is the language in which we can talk in.
Markets are looking for demand-ready resources. Students and parents are looking for jobs and certificates. And the teachers, skilling institutes, the people who are putting the effort to connect the two are talking in terms of time and effort, right? And lack of a common language which relates from there, right? So in some sense, it naturally leads to the chaos and everybody doing the same thing again and again.
So the challenge is just this, that you take a person who's not ready, you skill them for the job that they're supposed to do, but that fundamental knowledge that creates the ability for that person to then learn further and grow further and get a little deeper into their domain doesn't happen because the fundamentals are not there.
And ONDC is a way for people who have something to give, come and find out people who have something who want it. Givers and takers coming together and entering into a transaction in a meaningful fashion that is beneficial for both.
Learning is becoming more micro, more oriented towards the purpose. And hence, how do you open up the learning economy in a big way? How do you look at enabling a social profile, which is credentialed as some sort of a way for people to leverage and benefit from? And then, of course, the third one being, how do you aggregate demand, but basically make things interoperable through networks and protocols? where opportunities are ubiquitous for everyone to access on either side.
Great, thanks. Up next, let's see the skeleton in few numbers. What we saw was five challenges, right? We had challenges five times. We had consumer apps, provider apps. So you heard just Koshi saying givers and takers. That's the first two. Then we had about high trust at low cost. That's verifiable credential. Of course, AI and language related technologies to make it accessible to anyone who does not speak English natively, and an open innovation category for anything that does not fit into these categories. And then the skeleton was centered around four tracks, right? We had scholarships and grants, internship and jobs, trainings and courses, and mentoring and tutoring. So across these four tracks, we saw quite a fair split. Of course, trainings and jobs taking the bigger chunk of the pie, and scholarships and mentorship, taking slightly smaller, about 50% of the pie from there. And now let's look at some of these ideas through a word cloud. So across the 200 plus ideas that you heard about, we had ideas on, of course, the big words you see here: student, learning, provider, job, skill, education. We had AR, VR. We had ideas around security, ideas catering to rural India, and ideas trying to catch fake candidates. Of course, on internships, there was a focus on sustainable development goals. SDG you would see somewhere in there. So yeah, a bunch of ideas, quite diverse, and a variety of them that were there. And now let's look at some top 3 ideas from there. Harsha, if you could bring the next slide. So, the best idea award, if we were to put it that way, we sort of 3 ideas that stood out pretty much. The first one, Team Kiwis, they had this idea of contextual discovery of learning and opportunities based on a skill assessment that happens. Of course, it seems something that has happened in the past, but to do it through a network and hence find you the relevant opportunity from a wide variety of options available to you. The next one, Byte Mechanic, really powerful AI-enabled personalized toolkit for persons with learning difficulties such as dyslexia and other difficulties. And then the third one goes to Team Pagar, which is a skill exchange network where even small skills like cooking or sort of making a pot or any such small skills, maybe teaching kids, can be exchanged. So a small job, sort of a gig network where skills are exchanged at a micro level. So congratulations to these 3 teams. You get the best idea award. Let's go next and see what more do we have. Now we have perspectives from various various angles. The first one is from judges. Let's hear it in a video.
Had a great time evaluating submissions. It was like witnessing a manthan. I would say a DSCP manthan. All sorts of ideas emerging, participation across private sector, NGOs, and students. Even competitors joining hands to innovate. It was just fabulous to see that. And every and each of the team focus on value creation, in the space of education skilling and leveraging the open source. This was just a great experience. I would say it's a great start to exciting journey. Congratulations to all the participants. Keep innovating.
Thank you, team. It was a great experience working with other panel members. The solutions proposed by various participants. Under NDA framework, ecosystem partner is going to play a very important role in further enhancing platform like Diksha, other skilling platform. I'm sure these solutions will be a great addition in our existing platform. I congratulate all the winners and also all the participants who came in Skillathon. Thank you.
All right. So that was from the judges. Of course, now let's hear it from organizers. And I think just to add a pinch of my perspective into this, from behind the scenes, the whole hackathon was nothing short of a roller coaster ride. There were many highs and lows, days that we were, worried how things would pan out. When we started in December, Jan, we had no idea it would reach here. And then, of course, it ended on a very, very high note when we saw amazing set of prototypes, a huge number of ideas, and participants registering. To me, it was truly, an eye-opening, mind-blowing event. And I'm really geared up for the next one that is coming up soon. Let's hear it from the other organizers as well.
Hi everyone. This 2-month journey of organizing a skeleton was a wild ride. With juggling so many balls constantly in the air, it truly felt like a circus act.
And yeah, it was like we were in a race against time to manage all the goals and shifting goalposts. So the challenge was to manage thousands of participants across hundreds of teams and keeping them updated by sending mails, then reminders, and of course, reminders for reminders. And keeping up with the Discord was also one of the most challenging thing, but both are entertaining as well.
What was not entertaining was trying to figure out common slots across calendars of super busy people to organize the fireside chats. It was like playing a game of Tetris trying to fit everything together. But at the end of it, I think it was totally worth it given the quality of discussions which happened in each and every fireside chat and eventually seeing so many ideas flowing in the idea submission phase.
And I'll tell you a secret. The most challenging part wasn't evaluating the numerous ideas we had received, but it was to decide the factors to evaluate them on and deciding the evaluation criteria. We were delighted that we received around 66 prototype submissions in the phase 2.
So the most delightful time was the treasure hunt we did to find and collect all the submissions, like some on GitHub, some on Hacker Earth, and digging through all the relevant links and credentials. But yeah, in the end, we found some really amazing prototypes.
These submissions took me back to my initial career days when I used to write a lot more software. And I got very excited and I wanted to participate myself. When I was told to shut up, to focus on what was needed and where my organizer had, I said that they were doing a kilothon on my enthusiasm. But on a more serious note, the ideas we got were simply mind-blowing, and hats off to all the participants and for all the submissions. Thank you.
Yes, a big thank you to all the participants to make this happen. Thank you to all the volunteers, panelists, judges, and of course my fellow colleagues.
And we could not have done it without each other. It was like a relay race where we kept passing on the baton to each other to keep the momentum going.
And now we are already thinking on how to make Skillathon 2.0 even better. Hopefully, for this time, the sequel will be better than the original movie. Thank you, everyone.
Right. So that was from the organizers. And finally, let's hear it from the participants.
Hi everyone, my name is Ajay and I'm really glad that I got to attend a Skillathon with Pankaj and Bikram as Team Agastya. It was really fun to collaborate and build EduReka, which was an e-learning platform which was built on various extensive ML algorithms that we made during this hackathon. I'm really grateful to all the organizations for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Hello, we are from Team EVL. The Skillathon has been really fun and we were able to learn a lot. The endpoint registration was very smooth on the beacon gateway. We initially struggled a lot to understand the DHCP protocol and the ACK routing. However, the check-in calls throughout the day helped us keep us in the rhythm. Fayaz, Giri, Anand, Suren were very forthcoming and helpful throughout. Even the conversations in Discord were insightful as well. We will now be able to adhere to the DHCP protocol for Sunbird serve building block. Thank you for the opportunity.
This is my first hacker challenge. I accidentally came across Skillathon on the last day. and was curious about the DSCP specifications. Three of us architects quickly formed a team, and it was such a fun and learning experience, especially over the weekend. Looking at various open source platforms in the sector, going to depths of Precon protocol, and once the deadline got extended, just put an all-noughter and had fun.
Hi, I am Rakesh, representing Team Minding. We are thrilled to take part in this Skilleton. It has been an interesting experience, starting from the fireside chats with the protocol architects and other experts in the education and skilling industry. They were very insightful and provided a sense of validation for what we are trying to do. Studying and implementing the protocol in just 3 days was both fascinating and thrilling. The organizers and volunteers from Beacon and EkStep, who were very helpful even as late as 2 a.m. in the night, to the high caliber participants whose submissions greatly impressed us. We do look forward to finding synergy with all of you. Thank you.
Right. So we just heard from two of the participants, and what was interesting is that two of them are also winning the Spirit of Community Award. You just heard them towards the end. Let me share a brief about what this award is. Right. We were looking for people who would go out of their way to help others, or who do something that really benefits the community at large. And then Rakesh from Minding, you just heard at the end, was really active on all, Discord or wherever you say, helping others, going out of his way to ask questions, clarify things, even point out some mistakes in documentation wherever they were. And Team Beehive for, as Harita was mentioning, going out of their way to analyze various open source tools and see how they can be made interoperable through the protocol and then other layers of, interoperable specifications. So congratulations to both of you. You get the Spirit of Community Award. And with this, let's now look at the special mentions. And Pramod, if you'd like to come in here, feel free to. Where we have Dr. Pramod Varma with us today, who will take us through the next phase of the presentation, especially the winner announcements. So while we wait for Pramod to come in, we had these 5 teams and their ideas as we put out here. They really did put forward a great prototype, and we're pretty close to winning, and hence want to call out each of these teams for doing the hard work that they've put in. Yeah, Pramod, if you're here, please come on the video and take us through the next phase of winners and their prototypes, their demos. I guess that's what everyone is waiting for.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not sure whether you can see me, Suren.
Now we can see you.
Okay. Yeah, but again, fantastic. In fact, I have not watched the videos of behind the scenes, in one sense, the videos of people, participants, volunteers, mentors, judges. It's super exciting to watch. I was just absorbing it as a listener. It's amazing how much energy goes behind the scene. The winners only one part of it. I think everyone has given the energy. Clearly tells how many people have been behind the scene making much of this come alive. But again, congratulations on all the special mentions. I think these are for many reasons. I think the community felt these need to be brought out. These names need to be brought out. So congratulations to everyone, and Spirit of the Community Award as well. I think you did that, right? Suren, just before this.
Yeah. We
Spirit
just
of the Community.
did before this.
Yeah. So Spirit of the Community Award itself, we have been working on open source efforts for a while, and it's not straightforward, frankly speaking, to drive motivation. There is nothing else driving the community members other than just excitement and motivation, and possibly imagining a future that you would like to see. But that's a dream all of us carry, and all of us want to see the extremely fragmented and unequitable current setup of blue collar workers or less skilled workers and so on. We all want to see a dramatic change in that. So Skeleton 1.0 is just the beginning of that. I think it's the beginning of that. And I'm very sure many of you are seeing that future yourself. And you can almost start to feel and believe that, it could happen. And given India has magically pulled off, Aadhaar and UPI and DigiLocker and ONDC, and we don't seem to be stopping. So, why not? Why not in the domain of education and skilling as well? So I think I'm very sure many of you are inspired and motivated to see that future. And that's the reason why I think we are 1,000 people plus participating, and nearly 100 submissions and so on. It's just unbelievable. With almost no ad money spent, I think. It's just the power of community, truly, spirit of community. We can't have, I don't think the community can afford to put Shah Rukh Khan on ad anyway to get people in. So I think it's all you. It's all you just spreading the good word and getting everybody excited. And hopefully Skeleton 2.0 is even going to be bigger than this. We have few more. Do we have slides? I'm not moving the slides today, so.
So Harsha can go next. We just thought we'll present centrally, given all the videos that had to be shown. So the next section is winner announcements and presentations, and of course.
I know, and we have soon Nandan joining us as well, right? That we are expecting him to join soon. Join soon.
He's not yet joined, but yeah, we're expecting him to join soon.
Okay. Yeah. So do you want to? What do you want? Do you want to wait for him to also see the winner? By the way, winners are not announced yet, right? I mean, this is secret.
Not yet announced.
Okay.
We can't go next from here.
I know. Thankfully, I don't have the slide control. I would have by mistake actually moved on. Okay, it's good that you didn't give me the control. We'll wait. I think there is a hold your breath and patiently everyone waiting for it. I can see it. See the impatience in participants to see the winner. But I was actually watching just while Nandan is joining, and I just want to share a few things with the community. Even when during many of the G20 sessions that are going on, we are having the idea of digital public infrastructure, like specifications being a common thread, interoperability being a common thread, discovery and fulfillment being a common thread. So I think many of that is actually applied in Skeleton. Verifiable credentials being the trust factor, identities being a trust factor, DSCP, it was used as well, right? I think people have built apps using DSCP. DSCP being the discovery and fulfillment layer or protocol. And most interesting thing, almost all countries, when we speak to, assume building DPI is very expensive proposition, because it's also to do with this. They'll say, oh, you are a very large country and you are no more a poor country, right? India is no more a poor country. So when African countries or the global South views us, they actually views us as almost ahead. We are the 5th largest economy. Very soon, probably 3rd and 4th economy. So they look at as a much more capable, not poor, IT capable, and having money. So they say India somehow can manage to pull off DPI. And actually we tell them DPI does not cost anything. And Nandan made a brilliant statement. And I'll say that all of us were very inspired by that statement when he made it during one of the G20 meetings, is that DPI does not take deep pockets. It takes deep conviction. I think that is a very, very powerful statement to make it clear to the countries. All it takes is conviction, wanting to do, wanting to make a change in your country, right? And to provide equitable opportunity to everyone to participate in transactions, earn credentials, get financial support, take care of healthcare and education, and so on. So, and that's what we are seeing. Much of the underlying capabilities are in the open source, are on GitHub, and many of you are in the community will stand up and support even other countries wanting to do similar things. And hopefully as entrepreneurs, you get to go there as well. When other countries adopt some of these, as entrepreneurs, you get to go and play in those playgrounds, not only in Indian playground. And they say that, right, if you build for India, you sort of build for the world, because our complexities and diversity, complexity and scale, and being frugal, and because nobody, Indians don't pay, subscription money, and we try to do everything free, right? And really cheap. So I think it is important that if you can crack that puzzle of entrepreneurship in India and solve at scale for diversity in a frugal manner, you pretty much solve for the world. That's a very, very powerful way. So when the DPI starts going, digital public infrastructure, like Beckon and like ONDC and like UPI, starts going into other countries, which does not take any money from their side. It's just an intent, and very high chance it will come. Many countries are implementing. Hopefully you get to play, as entrepreneurs, you get to play on those playgrounds. So being ahead of the curve is critical. So I encourage all of you to not stop here today and continue to work on it, continue to contribute to the community, and build up real businesses around it. So,
I think there is.
Anand, what do you want me to do?
I think there is also a question we could take from the audience.
Yes, sure,
yeah. So it says, will there? Oh, I'll just read and paraphrase. Right. So will there be smaller networks for every domain and inter-network communication happening between these networks, or would there be one big network for all domains? What do you think, Pramod?
In general, if you learn from the success of internet itself, as an architect, I would argue for a network of networks in general for scaling, for for many reasons. Reasons of differential treatment, reasons of autonomy, reasons of if it's a country, sovereignty. For example, a payment network in India would be controlled by the central bank here, whereas a payment network in Singapore would be controlled by the central bank there. It is different. The rules of such games, networks also probably are going to be different. But if these networks don't connect itself to a network of network, creating a global network, we defeat the whole purpose. So it is essential that we do create a network of network that's interoperable. The protocol compliance is key, but while the participation rules and the contextualization might be at the local network, but the interoperability will be across global network. So I would imagine many smaller networks facilitated locally with the context of local, but all using a shared protocol that allows you to create connections between networks and amplify, because the real power would come from those combinatorial innovations, where in ONDC, lending network collides with ONDC, with insurance network coming to provide insurance and lending and other things, payment networks coming together in ONDC. So I think no network alone can solve all the issues. I think it is important to understand. So for two reasons, you want inter-network connectivity. One, combinatorial innovation, one, geographical and scale interoperability. But contextualization rules would be local. So if you centralize everything, the premise of decentralized protocol goes away, right? So you don't want a central mega entity running one network. That probably is not the right. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. So I think I was just wondering, given the outer time limit of 5 p.m. as well,
We can get started.
maybe we should get started. And then as and when Nandan joins, he can watch the remaining presentations wherever he joins. What do you think, Anand and Harsha? Those who are controlling the presentation, they have to allow us to get started. All right, cool. So there it goes, Pramod. Over to you. So the winner for challenge 1 and
is okay. That's how I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to do a drum roll. Okay, there you go. Fantastic! Congratulations. Awesome. Oh, I can see them actually on the video. Oh, okay, they're right there. Congratulations, all of you. It's brilliant. Again, these challenges were, while the challenge articulation of the challenge was somewhat broad, we still wanted to be focused about while still being broad. But so it's not straightforward for any hackathon to come together and just produce something actually working. So congratulations once again. Awesome job. Thank you.
Yeah. So up next we have a quick 5-6 minute video presentation from the team, which we could all watch and appreciate their work. Yeah.
I'm Chaitanya. I represent Team Trusting India from Affinity. So we consist of 5 members, Parmesh, Anvesh, Nayan Jyoti, Raviranjan, and myself. So the problem we are trying to solve is the trust issue in open networks. So Beacon protocol allows all the newcomers or individuals or small players to have the same opportunities as big companies or established players. But the biggest problem is, how does anybody trust these new players, right? For example, Google or Facebook or some big company has posted a job, everybody can trust them and they apply, they're excited about it. But if some startup posts a job, nobody can trust them, right? So nobody knows them. So we are trying to solve that problem using a verifiable credential. So what we are trying to do is, we are using Beacon protocol. So we are doing both the BPP and BAP side of things. So on the BPP side, we have created a course portal like a learners management system, LMS system. So where a course will be posted and a job seeker can see these courses. So we're on an app called My Buddy app. So he will be able to complete the course, and then once it's completed, so he'll be able to use that course certificate to apply for jobs. So the course issuance course certificate will be issued by Sunbird, and the verification will be done using Affinity verifier APIs. So let's just quickly see the demo of the whole thing.
Introducing Sanjay, a 24-year-old office boy who is determined to progress in his career. To achieve this goal, Sanjay is using the MyBuddy app, which recommends relevant courses to help him develop new skills and advance his career. With a user-friendly interface, Sanjay can browse through the course options and select the ones that best suit his career goals. Once he has enrolled in a course, Sanjay is redirected to a course portal where he can begin his learning journey. As he finishes the course, Sanjay receives a verifiable certificate that acknowledges his completion of the course. This certificate can be shared with his professional network or potential employers using a unique QR code. With his newly acquired skills and certificates, Sanjay can now search for jobs on MyBuddy app that align with his career aspirations. He can easily apply for these jobs and include his certificates to demonstrate his qualifications. When Sanjay applies for a job, the employer can view his application and certificates in the employer portal. By verifying the cryptographic information embedded in the credential, the employer can validate the authenticity of the certificate. This feature enables the employer to make informed decisions about the job seeker's qualification.
Yeah. We have shown that verifiable credentials could be transmitted over Beacon protocol. So it's just a JSON LD document that could be, transmitted. Verifiable credentials have the same operating principles as backend, as open networks like backend protocol. And by following W3C standards, anybody can implement verifiable credential. Anybody can issue a verifiable credential. If it is issued in W3C standards, the other side, the receiving party, counterparty, will be able to either store it and verify it independently. So we have shown how did web method can be used in this particular case. So what we want to envision in for future is something like interoperable super Aadhaar. So there are a few advantages that a VC format will have, such as a VC is machine readable. So we don't need to enter OTPs or passwords and all those things to for the machine to actually authenticate it. So all the information for authentication is available in the JSON document itself. The machine will be able to do all the work for us. And because it is machine readable, you can always combine several verifiable credentials into a single verifiable presentation, VP, and share it in a context-aware manner. For example, if somebody is posting for a job, you would need not just the identity, but you would need the certificates, you would need the qualifications, you would need the job work experience. So you can combine all of them into one single resume and send it to the job poster. And this data is completely trustable because it is coming from the issuer directly, right? So it's cryptographically signed by the issuer himself, him or herself. So this makes the whole ecosystem much more seamless. So we want to work with everybody who has a similar vision as we are. So let's work together, and feel free to reach out to us. Thanks for your time. So any questions, please? Thank you. I'm Chaitanya. I represent
Okay, so Nandan, welcome to the.
Thanks, Pramod. Exciting.
Here, okay, so I don't need to introduce Nandan to most of you. CTO of India, pretty much, giving us the direction for much of our forward-looking. But personally, I've had the chance to work with him for a long time, and even as early as 94 or 95, maybe 90, end of 94 or whatever. I remember him saying internet is going to change the entire consumer banking, and wanted to he made me build a prototype, internet banking prototype. And I was wondering, what is internet? I was just barely getting used to internet, and he was imagining how banking would change. So it was very clear that unless we dream, unless we see the trend, unless we dream big, we cannot start building the building blocks that could enable us towards that. And that's exactly what we are doing even today, right? We are starting to see this trend, where the trend is taking us. And then how can we leverage that trend to build necessary building block to remove asymmetries and opportunities. So Nandan, this team is delighted to have you here today. And we just announced the winner, and they're on the screen right now, winner of the first challenge.
Yeah.
And you just walked in while they were
presenting. No, we saw the demo. It looked very interesting. They applied all the principles, so it's good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
So we will go towards the challenge 2, right? That's
okay.
The next one. Yeah, I think it'll probably autoplay the video. So,
I'm Chaitanya. I represent.
Just to make sure that everybody's get your name. Yeah, everybody knows that. Yeah. Okay, and here comes the winner for challenge 2. And drum roll, I wish they put actual drum roll, but here you go. So congratulations, folks. Anirudh, Indresh, Mahesh, and Nish. Congratulations to all of you. I don't recognize the logo per se, but Beck and Bros sound pretty cool. Okay, the name of the team. Off to you.
I think they're from NIT. Yeah,
oh,
from NIT Trichy.
Okay, wonderful. Oh, they're students. Okay, so it's amazing. Probably they can do better job than older people like us. So we look forward to seeing the demo. Go forward. Congratulations.
Hello everyone, this is Team Beck and Bruce. We are students of NIT Trichy. Today my team and I are excited to present you eScholar, a revolutionary platform that provides a solution to the challenges faced by scholarship providers. Imagine you are an organization seeking to provide scholarship for students from diverse backgrounds as a part of your social initiative. However, you face several challenges in doing so, such as creating, tracking, managing a scholarship program, reaching wider audience, ensuring transparency, verifiability of the granted scholarships, and securing the user data accumulated during the process. These challenges often come with tedious formalities and that hinder the success of your scholarship program. That is where eScholar comes in. Our platform provides a comprehensive solution for scholarship providers, allowing them to create and manage their scholarships seamlessly. Each provider gets their own dedicated portal, complete with an intuitive drag and drop certificate designer and reusable workflows, making the entire process easier and simple. Our innovative BPP as a service BaaS concept automatically creates a BPP for the provider and leverages the interoperability of the backend protocol to make the scholarships created by your organization visible across the network. This means that the reach of your scholarship initiative is not limited to specific region or community, but accessible to a broader audience. We also ensure that the scholarship tracking process is transparent and efficient, thanks to the use of our blockchain technology for both providers and beneficiaries. With eScholar, you can rest assured that the access of the BaaS platform is secure and the user data is stored in a private and secure manner.
Let us take a quick tour of the eScholar application. We'll first start with the BBB as a service platform, which is used by scholarship providers to create and manage their own scholarships. When the provider registers in the BPP portal, they will be sent their login certificates via email, which they can install in their system. And once they've installed it, they can log into their dedicated portal using the certificate that they've installed. Now the provider can create reusable workflows with multiple approval stages using the drag and drop builder. Now the provider can use the previously created workflow with the drag and drop form builder to create their new certificates for the new scholarships. Now when we log in as a beneficiary to the BAP portal, we'll be able to see the scholarships created by various providers and select the provider of our choice and apply for the particular scholarship. Once we apply, we'll be able to track the approval status, and for each status, there will be a transaction ID which could be tracked in the blockchain. And once the final approval is given, we'll be able to verify this transaction in the blockchain. We can also see that the signature is stamped in the PDF, which will further aid the verification process by scanning this QR code, which is stamped in the PDF.
Our solution offers a perfect combination of decentralization, innovation, and security, making eScholar a unique and comprehensive platform in the market. With eScholar, scholarship providers can focus on what matters most, supporting students and creating a more equitable society. Our long-term vision is to create a comprehensive platform connecting students to scholarship opportunities with intuitive search options and analytics to measure success. We aim to offer feature-complete BPPs and partner with scholarship providers to benefit students. We thank Skilllathon team for organizing and conducting this hackathon. Now we are open to questions from your side.
Okay.
Do you need to use a blockchain?
Yeah. Oh, Nandan wants to ask you.
Why do you need to use a blockchain? I mean, what's the value of that in this application? I mean, you can use it, but what's the why? What is the need that requires you to use blockchain?
So like we want to like make first decentralization is the main concept, and then we want to make like we take the signatures all created from the blockchain's private and public signatures. So that is one more thing we are using from the blockchain. And our scholarship process is like, we are thinking like it has to go to various steps. So after each and every step, like there must be a transaction created, and that transaction has to be maintained somewhere, and someone else should not come and mutate that. So that's why we consider like using blockchain as better solution than going with a normal database. So that provides security more than the database. So usually in an organization, a single person won't accept a scholarship. It will be going through a lot of processes. So, and it will be vary from one organization to another. So that's why we created a workflow. So this is how they want to like have the processes. And then form builder, the fields will be like different for different organizations. So like whatever values they want, not the values, like whatever content they want. So for that, they have their own form builder and they have their own workflow. And with the own workflow, it will be transferred each other. And those transferring are stored in the blockchain.
Excellent. Okay, fantastic. And congratulations once again. It's amazing to see the depth of thought and the finesse of the application. I wish you all the best, and we all wish you all the best. Would love to see you. If you're graduating, graduate, start something, entrepreneurial journey. You can start that. All the best, and I hope to see. We all hope to see you back in the community. Continue to work and help us.
Thank you. All the best.
Yeah. Okay, here comes the winner for challenge 3. Congratulations once again. Few of you seem, this is a much larger team. Okay, so I can immediately notice compared to other teams, this seems to be a multi-company, much more, somewhat more complex challenge and more complex team structure that you put together. Congratulations to all of you to come together. It's wonderful to see so many companies coming together from the community and actually building something common. Congratulations to all of you. Let's see.
Thank you, Pramod.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Giriraj Daga from Affinity, representing Team Innovators. It was a humbling experience working with like-minded people from D-Way, Hacker Earth, Better Place, Sunstone. And it was very clear to us from the very beginning that establishing trust in a job application process is very hard today. It is time-consuming, requires calling the issuing authority or engaging background verification companies, specifically to verify the information shared on the resume. We sought out to consider an approach where the accomplishments can be represented as verifiable credentials to solve for this deficit of trust. While it does that in terms of technology, but it's not human readable or easily understandable by a hiring manager if only verifiable credentials. Hence, we also sought to build a more resume, similar to a resume interface by composing data from verifiable credentials, still maintaining the verifiability of the document. We create a digital resume to make it easier for holder to transact using existing systems of transaction operations. We use D-Way's Mark Studios tools to create credentials for the holder, and in a mutually exclusive way, Anushka as a holder is able to store that issued credential in an Affinity Credentials wallet. Anushka could share the credentials stored in the wallet with a prospective employer independently. We showcased how a digital resume builder tool can be built on top of the credentials available in the wallet, allowing Anushka the ability to configure and reuse this component for every transaction whenever she needs to make a job application. We were able to build a quick job discovery app on top of DSCP Open Network through which Anushka can find jobs from all across the country in few clicks. And once she finds her dream employer, she can use the resume that we built to establish authenticity of her skills, qualification, and work experience with the employer quickly. And for employer, it leads to instant verification and hence a more efficient process to make an informed decision about the candidate. In future, we believe the candidate will not only look for a specific job title as she knows it, she could actually request the network to suggest job opportunities that are looking for skills that she has and maybe surprise her. Also, traditional credentials are not a good signal of work performance. In future, users, employers will create more credentials which are more representative of the performance at work, performance of the employee at work. For example, her digital skills, her ability to work with others, her soft skills, her leadership skills, those could also go in as micro credentials back into the user's wallet, so that it helps create a more holistic personality about Anushka, the holder, which she can reuse for other transactions in future to establish trust and get access to new services. With this, let me invite Amar from Dhive to show a quick prototype, demo of the prototype that we have built for this hackathon. Amar?
So, as a demo here, on your screen, you are seeing the digital resume project where the search is happening from BAP, BPP. So we search for a job which is based on a skill, and we can apply for it. And here on the screen is what you see, a resume, which is like any resume you see today, but the difference is the data is coming from a wallet and the skills, education, and experiences from a VC in the wallet. You can add more skills if you have the skills available as a VC, or you can right away submit. For example, I do have a VC ad available in the Rust format. This is a VC. It is already in a verified form. I'm copying it. If I want to add it, done. Now you see Rust lang added, and I submit. So that's it. It's very simple. All the complexity hidden behind, and gets the job done.
Hope you like this tool, and we can figure out a way to use this to increase adoption of verifiable credentials in job application process. There are many wishlist items here, primarily being solving for more adoption and at-scale adoption of this verifiable credentials to help establish trust. We can build more connectors to HRMS systems and also flexible trust system for verifiers, so that they can create their own tiers of issuers based on the use case. We enjoyed working on this app, specifically seeing the power of interoperability when multiple participants of the ecosystem use different choice of tools, but because of open standards and protocols, the data can seamlessly flow from one part of the system to another, or enabling a wider ecosystem and a more citizen-centric flows, leading to empowerment of individual to get access to more services. So we're excited on what this can deliver for India. So looking forward to it. Thank you for the opportunity to present from Affinity, Better Place, Dhive, HackerEarth, and Sunstone. Thank you.
How do you guys expect adoption? How do you get everyone to adopt this?
So the idea is the APIs of these the protocol, whatever we used, is all open. So none of this was from, even though it is for profit companies, it is not closed. So idea is there will be a demoable, the same project we did. We will complete it to the usability. People can take that and build more UI and more applications if they want to. And these services would be added upon the commercial wallets we would provide as a companies. So people can choose us or somebody else, but the APIs and the other things, other tools will be open. That's how we see that we would adopt the product to be used.
But you also need to look at verifying skills that are not based on exams, right? You want to verify that he's a good carpenter. You may need some video. Correct. Or some certificate from some reliable guy that he's a good carpenter.
Correct. So that is where the like companies. Okay. So I think the companies we work with, Hacker Earth and like Better Place and Sunstore, so they actually provide such services today. So they want to provide proof of skill as a certificate themselves. They are not a company who are looking for universities to provide it. So that's where we are working on a proof of skills as a possible schemas coming out of the DSCP meetings in the community.
So you think you'll be launching this?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Yeah, and then I think one idea emerged during the discussions with Better Place, this is Giri here, that they're also looking for a social way of doing background verification. That could be that +1 use case, that if some gig worker is applying for a job and says, I worked at one particular company like Swiggy, and if there are wallet holders or there's a decentralized way of publishing that request to a network, and the network can provide references in an open way, then depending on the quorum you receive, you can decide as a verifier that if you've received enough quorum that says, yes, this person works at this company and that they have a verifiable credential with @swiggy.com, that means they are from the same company and they're endorsing this person. Now that could really change the way we do background verification in a low cost way. And that could be a reason for those verifiers to get onboarded. So their +1 moment could be they need background verification checks from the network, but that creates more pull for people to be on the network. So some interesting ideas, but yeah, it's a hard problem. Either we start at issuer side and just create a FOMO. I think as Pramod believes that every certificate should be with a QR code. So if all HRMS systems start issuing that, if we can make that cost of issuing very simple and low, but then also look for demand side, is there a real gap we can fix because of this decentralized approach?
But see, if you make this a very liquid market for skills, do these guys worry that it will increase their attrition?
I think we've heard in some sectors they do, but it's also that these are traditional indicators of signals. It's not really indicator of work performance. So they're also looking for like how you do that other rich credentials of performance at work from a skill. If that can be included in the user's profile, that can actually help them select better candidates and open up the market more for them and actually drive better outcomes and impact on the ground than losing out on the.
So you're saying that the value of better discovery of new employees overcomes the risk of losing employees.
Yes, and the better, more specific skills that are relevant to their jobs. So the soft skills that are otherwise undiscoverable, and it's every time they do repeat that experience on the job. Like how do you work with people? Can you be trusted with handling money? Like portable reputation about you, and also a recency bias. Maybe 2 years back data is not relevant for now, but last 6 months data is relevant for me to make a commitment to you. So something on those lines, like the new ways of establishing trust with the holder and new skills that are otherwise not easily available through a paper-based certificate or a test score, is something that there is some interest to explore how that can happen.
So that let's say I am Better Place and I have carpenters, just an example. I will be willing to certify the good carpenters on my platform.
Yes, that is agreed upon. As in, they are happy to do that because they see that if others also certify equally, everybody benefits. So that was the outcome of our discussion during the run-up to the hackathon.
Okay. So then we should be able to create a virtuous cycle here, right?
Yes, in a way, yes.
Ideally.
Okay, great, wonderful. Yeah, thanks a lot. Sorry to ask so many questions.
No, good to have you intensely listening and asking questions. Some of these are like earlier days of UPI. Why would this chicken and egg problem? Why, NDC, we ask the same question. Why should providers come? Consumers, do they worry that others will steal their thing?
No, I think it's different in products, Pramod, because
compared to, yeah.
In ONDC, I want to put my
I sell all the inventory.
Yeah. Here, the more marketable I make my employees, the more the risk of losing.
Yeah.
So that fear will be there in the
There
employer.
will
That's
be
all I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah, correct. It will be important to overcome some of that fear. Maybe we're also thinking that we'll start some obvious ones, which they already do, rather than advanced ones which they don't do. So these are all good discussion to have. One more input, we don't want to hold you up, is that in the next demo, maybe next time when you refine this demo, the wallet can be somebody else. There's an open source wallet to work under, Mossip and so on. So you might want to look at some of them participating things. So we can literally show interoperability from multiple players.
Yeah, that was the idea. We can even think of DigiLocker as a wallet as a way.
Correct, absolutely. Again, congratulations once again. A great job. Let's move on to the next one.
Thank you.
Okay, here comes the challenge 4. And challenge 4 winners are, actually it looks like there are 2 teams that have won, which is fantastic. Congratulations to all of you. I can see both teams. Not sure what are the team names. My Zoom is okay. OSL and Binary Bandits. That's very cool. Okay, so congratulations to all of you. Let's see your demo.
Hello everyone, this is the demo video of Team OSL Challenge for Hack, and we present to you our BAP recommendation engine. As we all know, discovery is one of the most important factors when it comes to resources on the backend network, and the recommendation engine is one such tool that can greatly aid this process. By analyzing user behavior, this engine can suggest mentors or sessions that are relevant to each user, even though they didn't explicitly search for it. So that was our goal, not only to provide a platform for users to consume resources on, but to greatly aid them in finding the best choices even without them trying. As for the integration, our BAP and DHCP flows are integrated into the Sunbird app. This BAP leverages our recommendation engine to provide session and mentor recommendations as shown here on the right. Now we can see this in action in an app demo before continuing further.
In the current flow, we have enabled mentoring network integration for courses, but can be easily extended to the other resource types available on the network. When the user clicks on Seek Mentorship button, the user will be taken to the mentor listing page. Here a request to the mentor network will be made with the current topic or context of the course, and the resulting mentor will be listed in the app. User can select a mentor, view the available slots, and book a slots. User will be able to see the available sessions and they will be able to enroll into any of the sessions. On the basis of the user's previous interactions with the sessions or mentors in the network and their similarities with the other users, they will be recommended with mentors or sessions they haven't already interacted with. This is how the homepage will look like when there is no recommendation. That is, the user haven't taken up any mentorship programs in the application. This is how the recommendations will be shown up for the users who has joined multiple sessions and booked multiple slots.
Coming back, this here is the general architecture of our implementation. As I mentioned, Sunbird app interfaces with our BAP to plug into the backend network and leverages our recommendation service which houses the engine. Now, one of the most important tech that we leverage for this hack is the Neo4j graph database. In a graph database, we store data entities as nodes and the relationships between them as the edges. And on the left is the graph model we implemented. We can see that the user node is related to an item node by the relationship rated. Coming to the recommendations itself, collaborative filtering is one of the many techniques which can be adopted as we did here. In this filtering, topology of the user nodes are used to find similar users based on the interactions with other nodes in the graph. As for the application of this tech, imagine various different types of users like farmers who are seeking mentorship on crop management, or a diploma student who is seeking targeted sessions on particular subjects, or a teacher needing specialized training. This system will allow us to group these users into clusters based on the interactions on the network, and then help them get targeted resources through recommendations, which is powered collectively by the clustering community of alike users. Now, coming to the process itself, our recommendation engine can be broken down into 4 steps. Graph projection, which is the process of creating an in-memory subset graph, which can then be used for further steps. Then on this projected graph, fast RPA bidding is executed, whereby the graph is converted into vectors on which machine learning algorithms can be run in order to find the similarities. The algorithm of choice here is the k-nearest neighbors, or commonly known as KNN. Using KNN, we compute the similarities between the nodes and write it back into the graph. Now, using the computed similarities, recommendation queries can be run on the original graph for any user. Coming to the limitations, collaborative filtering by design can only be used to recommend items which has had at least one user interaction. This is called the call start problem. Further, these computationally expensive operations must be run periodically to ensure that the recommendations are evolving as the graph grows with newer nodes and interactions. As for the immediate future scope of a recommendation engine, content-based filtering is a top choice as it can be used to recommend sessions or mentors who haven't had previous interactions with the users, thus negating call start problem. And further, with content-based filtering, the recommendation engine can be further extended to learn relevant topics and make search queries to the BAP like a normal user would, thus prefetching the items from PPPs and further enriching the recommendations automatically. This is the pictorial representation of the said idea. As you can see here, when run periodically or in a cyclic manner, recommendations will keep getting enhanced with the infusion of fresh items from all the BPPs. This will improve the discovery aspect of the network significantly, along with other additional benefits like performance boost due to prefetching. And with that, we come to the conclusion of this presentation. Please feel free to raise any questions you might have regarding our hack. We'll be very happy to answer any and all of them. Thank you.
So how does this
Hello,
help
everyone.
in
This is the
increasing
demo.
trust?
Hello.
How does this help in increasing trust?
We weren't targeting trust aspect as such for this particular challenge. Here we were, trying to improve the discoverability of the sessions and the mentors on the network. So the trust wasn't really a challenge for us.
So what problem you're trying to solve here?
So it's basically the discovery. So in the open network, the users are on one end and the items are on the other end, right? So the items in the sense that mentors or the sessions. So finding those discover items and getting it to the users is a challenge itself. So for example, let's just say a user is searching for some topic and he uses a particular word which he's using, and he'll be getting responses only matching those particular words. Now, like collectively, let's just say he has done that search and that's no longer working and he has gone away. Now some other users are doing some other searches and they use some better words, which is helping them find better resources. Now, due to the similarity between these users, the earlier user will get recommendations, which are, like the newer found items or the mentors will be suggested to that particular user. So this way, even though they have missed the chance with that particular search, they still can get, more resources being recommended to them and thus, improving the discovery aspect.
Some of all the people to get better answers for each person. Okay.
Yeah, collectively, yeah.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, this was a fantastic innovation on a decentralized network. How do you bring recommendation and affinity in one sense closer to the user? This is fantastic. You should actually probably write it up as well. You should write up some blogs or whatever. I think it is probably useful beyond skills area. So
yeah, exactly.
I encourage you to publish, since you guys are doing everything as digital public goods and open source. I encourage you to write this up and share the learnings. Congratulations.
Sure. Thank you.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure.
Hello, everyone. This is the demo video of
Hello everyone, today I'm going to speak about our web app LearnTuber. As we all know, YouTube is such a huge platform for free online education, and everything you want to learn is already available on YouTube in one form or the other. Let's take an example of Nitin. Nitin is a student and he is preparing for his school exam. He goes to YouTube and starts watching relevant videos. But what happens next? Few hours later, he forgets most of the stuff he learned because he was constantly distracted by his phone, notifications, and wasn't able to retain what he learned. Just like Nitin, 60% of students prefer YouTube as their first option for learning. So, to solve the problem of Nitin and many other students, we introduce our web app LearnTuber. LearnTuber takes your YouTube video as input and generates a summary of video's main ideas as well as quiz questions to reinforce this understanding of the material. Using these features, learners would be able to learn efficiently from YouTube videos, understand and memorize the concepts, and enhance their learning outcomes. Let's see a short demo of our app. This is how our web page looks like. Let's say I want to generate summary and quiz for this video. To do this, I just have to copy the link, paste it in the input box, and click the summarize button. There you have it. Just with a click of a button, you get the whole complete summary as well as the quiz for your video. Looking ahead, there are a lot of features that we would like to add in future. Like we are looking to improve transcription API because it's the main bottleneck to our project, which sometimes takes too much time. And we will find an alternative API or maybe upgrade our current plans. We will add a browser extension support so the user won't have to visit the site again and again. And the extension would redirect the user from web page where its summary and quiz would be already ready. We will also add an option for the user to choose the length of the summary as well as the number of quiz questions he wants to attend. We will add features like translation, make the quiz interactive, display quiz questions across the video, like maybe between the videos when one section is completed, result dashboard, and also an option to save summary and quiz locally on the device. Also, our concept can be leveraged beyond YouTube. It could help provide these capabilities for any video on Diksha or any other NDAR compliant ecosystem applications. And the quiz generation module can also be used to create customized and engaging quizzes for the Sunbird education mobile app. Thank you for listening, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity to participate in this Skilllathon and want to thank all of you who made it happen. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Great.
So,
how are you doing the summarization? What AI are you using for summarization?
So for summarization, we are using OpenAI API. OpenAI is like basically we are using ChatGPT models on which the ChatGPT works for creation of generation of summary and also the quiz.
Okay, great.
And you should. I don't know whether you've been exploring the Bhashini effort in India, Indic language. But you can go to bhashini.gov.in. You will see a lot of data sets and models available as open source language data sets. So you can actually provide some of these and allow Indic languages.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we are planning to add translation features on our app.
Much of that effort is also part of the Sunbird AI for Bharat community. So they're all open source as well. So I encourage you to explore.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Great job. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, here comes the challenge 5. Okay, hey, that's from LinkedIn. This is a LinkedIn team or there's just LinkedIn team, I suppose. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, all right, fantastic. Okay, that was good to see the LinkedIn team participating in Skilllathon as well. Congratulations to all of you. Let's see what you have submitted.
Hello everyone. Today we introduce you to LearnUp, an innovative tool designed to bridge the gap between differently able learners and technology. Our goal is to create a more inclusive world where everyone has equal access to information and opportunities regardless of their abilities and time limitations. India being a diverse country, language barriers can be a major obstacle to accessing educational opportunities. By providing resources in local languages and dialects, we can break down these barriers and make learning more accessible and inclusive. Additionally, by highlighting the relevance and applicability of the content to local contexts, we can help learners see the value and benefits of upskilling and investing in their education. To achieve these goals, we present LearnUp, a tool for embracing differentiability and empowering through learning. One of the key features of our tool is narration. For individuals with visual impairments, disabilities which make it difficult to understand written text, or for those who just want to learn on the go, LearnUp can be used as an alternative to listen to course material. Translation is an incredibly valuable feature for those who know a different language to the content available. With our tool, they can translate the content into their preferred language, making it easier for them to understand and access the information. The intelligent summarization feature analyzes the content and provides a brief summary of the essential points, making it easier for consumers to choose the article that caters to their need. A major benefit of this tool is it allows consumers to combine any of the above three features as per their needs and preferences. They can convert text to speech and then translate the content, or even summarize, then translate and narrate in their local language. This customization allows consumers to tailor the tool to their specific needs and preferences. Moving on to the demo.
Let's walk through our tool. As a user, when I open LearnUp, I would see various articles based on the skills I want and what's popular on LearnUp. When I open any article, I would have the option to summarize, translate, narrate, or any combination of the above. Let's try out summarize. We would be asked the required lines of the summary, and on clicking the summarize button, we could see the content replaced by the summary. Now, let's try to summarize, translate, and narrate this article. We would be asked the translation language, the number of lines of the summary, and the narration voice. Let's try it out.
कंप्यूटर विज्ञान के कई क्षेत्रों में डेटा संरचनाओं का उपयोग किया जाता है, जिसमें एल्गोरिथम, डेटाबेस.
Another feature which we provide as part of LearnUp is the magic tools. Magic tools can be particularly useful when a user wants to bring their own content and perform any of the supported operations. Let's try this out as well. The user pastes the content in the text box and select the appropriate translation language, and they click on the process button. We can see that the content has been translated into Marathi.
As a future scope, we can extend our tool to the producer side. Integrating speech-to-text conversion will allow to generate articles and course material. LearnUp as a plugin can be integrated with third-party websites to provide accessibility solutions. Trust for skills is essential in today's job market, as employers need to have confidence in the skills and qualifications. DigiLocker has made it easier for individuals to store and share their educational and skill-based credentials securely. By mapping skills to economic opportunities, individuals can better understand the type of jobs that are available to them and the skills required to succeed in those roles. Employers, on the other hand, can use this information to identify potential candidates with necessary skills and recruit them more effectively. Mapping skills to economic opportunities also helps to address the skill gaps and shortages in the job market. By identifying the skills that are in demand but lacking in the workforce, educational institutions and training providers can create targeted programs to develop these skills in individuals. This in turn helps to increase the pool of qualified candidates for employers and can lead to higher employment rates and economic growth. By understanding the skill landscape, we can bridge the gap between learners and mentors with our technology. This allows us to discover the talent hidden in the nation. The existing technology like LinkedIn Skill Graph can be leveraged to create economic opportunities for all. Thank you everyone for giving us the opportunity to present our idea at Skillathon. Hello everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you actually work at LinkedIn, is that okay?
Yes,
You are?
sir. The four of us are actually working at LinkedIn now.
LinkedIn. All right. That's fantastic to see the idea. Very, very powerful. And did you use any of our Bhashini efforts, or is mostly on open, like Google APIs or existing APIs?
Yeah, so on the backend side, we used Google Trans and an open source website called Summi, which is based on semantic analysis. And on the front end side, we used React libraries.
Okay.
Varun, would you want to talk more on the React libraries?
Yeah, so it's mostly on React Speech, which integrates the browser APIs and perform the speech to text and text to speech translations. Having said that, we have built our software in such a way that we can move to better algorithms at scale, and the turnover time should be quick. So yeah.
That's fantastic. That's great. So again, if you are exploring this for further work, some of these areas, I encourage you to check out much of the open source work coming out of Bhashini effort as well. A lot more nuanced training has been done, especially for languages that are not so commonly supported. For edge languages that doesn't have enough volume for private companies to go after, but we do have people. We have those languages as well in the open source, so do check it out. Okay, great job. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, Pramod, I was suggesting, why don't all the winners turn their videos on together, and we can have like one common round of applause to celebrate all the winners.
And we can take a Zoom screenshot.
Exactly, that was the plan. If we can just stop sharing the screen for a second, Harsha, so that everything comes on the screen. Yeah. Okay, let me turn off my video. If there is space, I can still stay, but yeah, this looks good. Everybody, anybody else? Yeah, somebody can take a screenshot, please.
And Anand, you can also come online, by the way.
Okay, here I come. All right, congratulations,
Smile.
everyone.
I'm taking a photograph. Okay, you can go ahead and smile. Okay, there you go. Okay, oh, you're all filing. Okay, let me take one more photograph. Okay, just this whole team is there, so I'll take the latest one. Okay, cheers, smile. There you go.
Great.
Okay, congratulations, all of you. Fantastic job, and thank you for participating, and thank you for contributing to the community. And continue to work. Every ounce of this effort is needed for us to be able to push the larger inclusion agenda. So I think Anand, back to you, Suren. We have a few questions from the audience as well, right? So we can
go back to the presentation now.
So Nandan, we had given a chance to few people to come online and ask questions to you directly, and they had sent some good questions, really forward-looking, interesting question, and which I think you are perfect to answer. It's a very large, bigger question. So go ahead and answer. So Vinayak, I'm sorry, Vinayak is here. So yeah, please put up the question. If you can put up the question on screen, it would also make it easier for.
Yeah, Vinayak, please go ahead and ask. Harsha, you can put the question on screen also.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's a pleasure to talk to you, Nandan sir. I'm Vinayak and I represent Table Solutions. I would like to thank Team Skilleton for giving me an opportunity. Sir, I'm interested in understanding the vision of the DPG in India and the potential revenue opportunities for startups in the journey. Elaborating on that, I believe it is important to understand how the DPG aims to transform India into a digitally empowered society and knowledge economy. Furthermore, I'm eager to learn about the potential areas where startups can innovate and create value and also aim for a revenue.
Well, I think when we talk about, we now use the word digital public infrastructure, and really the three layers to it. There is some kind of population scale infrastructure enabled or by investment of the public or by all that, and in the US internet and GPS were examples of that. In India, Aadhaar and all are examples of that. And then we have to have a set of interoperable standard protocols so that you can talk to each other. And the third, of course, is once you have this, then you have to have a framework in which startups can innovate on top of this digital public infrastructure through open APIs. And when you think about it, the internet and GPS are digital public infrastructure. On that, people like Google Maps came to build a map. Smartphones came to create a mobile internet. GPS came into the smartphone, and then you had Uber. So basically, DPI is a way of thinking about transformation. And we believe that India actually can leapfrog in many of these areas. We have shown that with digital identity and Aadhaar. We have shown that with UPI. We have shown that with the world's largest DBT program. We have shown that with FASTag, and so on and so forth. And we think that skills is the next big thing. There are others. There's account aggregator, which is to enable businesses to get access to credit and other forms of data sharing. We have the whole AI in Indian languages that Pramod mentioned that will enable inclusion by allowing people to access everything in their own language, and so on. And then there's ONDC, which is unbundling commerce. So all these are really the same principle that we create DPI at population scale. We enable it through various public initiatives. We make it a level playing field that everybody can access the infrastructure with the same APIs and so on, so that it's not advantage to somebody or the other. And then let private innovation flourish. And we think that that's going to create a huge market. For example, if you look at what happened in payments, when UPI was launched, it created companies like PhonePe, which was recently valued at $12 billion. And when Aadhaar KYC was launched, it enabled companies like Reliance Jio to roll out mobile phones and get 100 million customers in 6 months. Or Aadhaar KYC enabled Zerodha to become the largest broking platform in the country. So what we are seeing is that with all these new technologies coming, the companies that embrace these platforms and leverage them can actually build a lot of value. So I believe that skills is waiting to be cracked open. Finally, it's about reducing friction, improving trust between people, improving the trust by having secure, verifiable credentials of all kinds, not just degree certificates, but all kinds of credentials about your experience. It's about discovery so that people can discover opportunities anywhere. And if you can do all that through an interoperable protocols and everybody uses the same language, then that dramatically improves the possibility of getting the right kind of jobs. And on the other side, with things like account aggregator, businesses can get access to credit. So on one side, businesses get access to credit through account aggregator. On the other side, they get access to verified employees. And if they get all this, then they can grow and create more jobs. So that's the vision that we have of how DPI will work and how it creates opportunities for startups.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vinayak, for asking that. It's a question of bringing innovation by many of you entrepreneurs, while also taking care of inclusion and equity agenda. So yeah, it's much to do. I think India is the beginning, and India is setting the direction for the world. But that's why the communities like you, all working on experimenting like Skilleton, are important for us to be able to try. Thank you, Nandan, as well. Can we get the next question? Thank you. Yeah. Pariru, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
I think Pariru is not there.
Okay.
Maybe
so
in the interest of time, we can go to the third question.
Okay, yeah. So I think Nandan answered that question about how skilling is helping economy. So
Yes,
Suraj,
yes.
if you can come online, next one, please. Next slide, please. So Suraj, if you can come online and You're there today?
Yeah, he is there, but somehow he has not accepted the invite to become a panelist.
Okay,
So maybe-
no problem, no problem.
Yeah.
I think maybe we
Answer
can
the
put up
question about formalization.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
essentially, India is moving from informal economy to a formal economy. And we are providing what we call as the grand bargain, which is, people in the informal economy normally do not want to be in the formal economy because there's a lot of bureaucracy. It's very cumbersome. They have to pay taxes. They have all kinds of deductions from the salary, which has no value for them, like some EPF they'll get at the end of 30 years and all. So the question is, how do you create a formal economy? And our view is that if you make entering the formal economy simple, which we do through all these onboarding and simple electronic methods, they can become part of the formal economy very smoothly. And then if they can use their data from their interactions of the formal economy to get access to services, then there's a direct benefit that they get from formalization. So we believe that if we can create a bargain where people join the formal economy and get a chance to use their data for their improvement, like getting access to credit, then more and more people will join the formal system, and that will lead to a better society, more taxes. It will lead to more people having a stake in a peaceful country and so on. So I think this is a big idea that we can really drive formalization through a digital infrastructure.
Yeah, formalization as the essence of not only individual opportunities, but having also a coherent, peaceful society that can
and
do
it
the right
also
thing.
improve the productivity of your
Productivity.
economy, because transaction costs, interaction costs, search costs, all those costs go down. And when you reduce that, you're really streamlining the ability to transact and do business, get jobs and grow. And if you can do that at population scale, then it has a material impact on productivity in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's a dream under which Hackathon was also initiated. So fantastic. So if you have Suraj, if you don't have Suraj, we can still read out the question. I think Suraj is asking, what are your thoughts on decentralized community-driven business models? Is that Web3 business model still a glorified version of Web2, or is it what ought to be the right model? Side?
Well, I think, we have to really look at how having things on a public ledger and all that will actually create some use case which I could not do otherwise. So our view is that many of the use cases can be done with normal traditional approaches. It's not out of the way, but there may be some use cases where using a public blockchain actually can do new businesses that you could not do otherwise, or you can do them much cheaper than otherwise. For example, we think if you have CBDCs between two countries, then cross-border remittances settlement costs will come down. And if I send money from Singapore to India, my cost per transaction will come down. And that's a direct benefit to some guy working on a oil rig in Singapore. So I think I really would like to see actual situations where there's a compelling value which is different than doing it in the old way.
Okay, and do you want to comment on, because the backend community, DSCP community is there, the platform-centric models of Web2 is continuing on Web3, while the asset layer is on the blockchain. The transactions still seem to be captured by dual-sided marketplace. Is there a new way of businesses to join a larger grid without having dual-sided play? And is there a business model there at all?
Yeah, no, I think what the beacon protocol does is it creates an interoperable system, and therefore you can have a large number of players all competing, because for the customer the switching costs are much lower, and you can also decentralize discovery, which means you don't need an aggregator in the middle who eating up a lot of costs. And so I think there are new ways to address shared things like mobility, commerce, and skills using the beacon approach.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Suraj, for asking that question. We are just about time, so I would invite Suren back to thank the community and close the session. Suren, back to you.
Yeah, and I think Anand and I will just take this moment to thank everyone. Anand, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Suren. There is a long list of people to thank because this would not have been possible if so many people had not come forward to help us. So even starting from obviously all the participants, in all the ideas which came in, those who were shortlisted, prototypes, winners, doesn't matter. All of them count. We saw some brilliant ideas. Even if you guys didn't win, it's okay. The ideas were brilliant, and I'm sure we will sort of use that in future, and something will come out of that. For all the fireside chats, all the panelists who took time out from their busy schedules to join the fireside chats and have some really amazing conversations, and especially Shankar, Pramod, Gaurav, all of you for moderating that amazing sessions. I would like to thank also all the mentors, especially including those who came from the Microsoft side to join and guide the participants. All the volunteers from the DACP community, the entire FIDE team, Ravi, Bharat, Faz, all of you were really crucial for us to be able to sort of pull this off. Our judges, obviously, Rakesh, Nitin, Alok, Sujit, and Upmit, they spent a lot of time, literally they spent hours looking at the prototypes and debated on, what are the right criteria to make sure that the judging is absolutely fair. To our supporters who sort of believe like ONDC, NASCOM, and FIDE, obviously, and constant guidance from Shankar, Pramod, Gaurav, and Sujit. Thanks a lot. And at last, but obviously not the least, I would like to thank Nandan for everything. And obviously spending this 1 hour with us, listening to all the participants, asking questions and answering questions. So thanks a lot, Nandan.
All the best. And my request is that don't let these ideas just remain ideas, actually convert them into real companies and create scale and value for everybody.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Again, thank you. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Every one of you, both mentors and supporters, everyone.
Okay.
We look forward to Skeleton 2.0.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.